are they doing? Is it magic?
Perhaps you could conjure up.
A boo!
Here goes.
Good morning everyone, welcome back to Vlogmas. Hello if you're new here. Excuse how I look, I haven't actually brushed my hair yet. I was going to have a shower, but let me tell you, it is absolutely freezing. I'm so cold. Yeah, it's just so cold. But anyway, I say good morning, but it feels more like afternoon. But it's actually 10:20 in the morning, and I've been up since 5:45, which was the time Nellie decided it was time to wake up, which is always fun. She is currently down for a nap. I'm just looking down on my phone because my video is uploading that is going up tonight. So I want to make sure that it actually does it and doesn't fail, because it's not the first time that something's failed and I haven't noticed. So definitely want to make sure that that is up, because obviously I've already missed one upload date because the Wi-Fi just wasn't happening that day. But yeah, I'd rather not miss any more if I can help it, especially because obviously I'm filming content so far in advance. But yeah, so Nellie is currently down for her nap. She's been asleep for about 2 hours now, and normally I would wake her up at that point, but I think she just needed a little bit extra. And to be honest, I'm kind of getting stuff done that I can't do with Nellie here or like down here. So, and the reason I'm sat on the floor, if you're wondering, is because I think I mentioned it many times since we've moved. This house doesn't have enough plugs, and so when I want to charge my laptop, I have to sit on the floor, which obviously then poses the issue when Nellie is awake, because she'll just be either on my laptop or pulling wires or whatnot. So yeah, I'm currently sat on the floor as my makeshift office. There's no way on earth I was going up to the actual office, because that is even colder than this room. I think this is probably the second warmest room in the house. Nellie's is definitely the first. But yeah, my hands are cold. I've had 2 cups of tea already, and yeah, I'm just not warming up, sadly. I might go and put like a thicker jumper on in a minute or something, maybe, when I actually sort this out. But yeah, today's plan is to have a chill one, stay in the warm as much as I can. I believe there is a round table, like Santa Claus coming round tonight. I believe it's coming this area, so probably gonna maybe step outside and see that for a few minutes. But other than that, I don't quite know what's gonna happen today. I might watch a Christmas film with Nellie, maybe. I definitely don't want to have to watch Miss Rachel again, that's for sure. 6 o'clock this morning for Miss Rachel was more than enough. But yeah, so not much planned for today. Last night's carols were really lovely. It was such a good turnout, and I saw a couple other people that are vloggers as well, so we were like all like grouped together with our little vlogs, and you could tell straight away like who was vlogging. Obviously I knew, or like I know who they are, but you could tell straight away when somebody was vlogging, because yeah, it is obvious. But yeah, it was really lovely. Loads of people turned up. We put fairy lights around Nellie's pram to to make it look a little bit festive. They said like bring lanterns and stuff anyway, so we did that as well. And it also helped to see the song sheet as well. Not that I didn't know most of the words, come on, let's face it, I've been singing Christmas songs pretty much for 6 weeks now. But yeah, so that was really nice and just like wholesome. And then we popped and had a look at like some of the local lights and stuff, which was nice. Half of them weren't working, sadly. They need to put some more money in the meters. But yeah, it was just nice to get out and do something festive. Nellie did really well. She cried like literally as the mayor was like doing her speech. But throughout the music and everything, she was fine. And I think she was only crying by that point, like she was cold. She had like a fleece lined onesie on and she had a coat on and stuff, but I think her feet by that point were cold, as were mine, to be fair. But she didn't want to sit in her pram, which had the cozy toes on and the blanket on, and it was just like, yeah, it was one of those things where you just like, logic tells you to sit in there and be warm, but she didn't want to, so you can't make her, sadly. So that was another festive thing ticked off the list, and we've got a few more coming up in the diary, and then before I know it, it'll be Christmas. I really need to get on and wrap like everybody else's Christmas presents, because obviously I've done Nellie's and that's it. But yeah, I really need to crack on and get everybody else's done, but everything's in the loft pretty much, because when we moved I just said, oh, stick up there, we've got plenty of time, and now all of a sudden the time is here and I can't work out if I've bought everybody enough, if we haven't, like we've still got shopping to do, when are we going to do it, like what are we going to get. It's just, I think everyone's going to end up with a box of chocolates, to be honest with you, and that'd be that. But yeah, I'm going to crack on now whilst Nellie is still sleeping. I'm just watching, it'll be like deja vu, but I'm just watching Olivia's vlog. In my watch later thing I'm 5 days behind, and I think it works out to be about 30 videos, so yeah, I'm a little bit behind, but I'm loving all of the Christmas content, and yeah, I just want to have like a cozy day and enjoy YouTube and enjoy Christmas stuff, and I think that's the plan. I literally feel like whenever I film, there's just, especially in the kitchen, there's just like washing in the background. I have brushed my hair, that's about as far as I've got. It looks really, really greasy, because probably, to be fair, it is, and it's a bit not matted, but it just feels not very nice, because I haven't actually washed it since I went out the other night, which was what, I'm going to wash it tonight, so that'll be like the 3rd night. And I mean, it's got hairspray in it, it's got texturizing spray in it, like it's got all sorts in it. I keep like, I don't know if it'll pick up on camera, there's a reef on that door. I've just shut it because otherwise all you'll hear is Danny go singing about robots. But I keep thinking it's a person stood there, and it's really like, it's really getting to me. It is 12:20. I'm literally just making Nellie's bottle, just waiting for it to cool down in the amazing product that is the Newbie Rapid Cool. If you haven't tried this and you are either expecting, or you already formula feed but you use like other methods, this is what you need. I've literally worked on just some like behind the scenes bits to do with like my videos and stuff, and now all my playlists on here now have descriptions and whatnot, and I've changed like some of the settings so that some of them show more up-to-date videos first, because YouTube was setting it and they were a bit weird. So yeah, I've done that, and I've just sent out my monthly newsletter as well. I will try my best to leave a link down below if you do want to subscribe to that. I just basically, well, I basically don't send a newsletter very often. I think I've only sent 4 this year. My aim is to send 1 a month, unless there's something amazing that I want to talk about, in which case obviously there'll be an extra one. But my plan for next year is to send 1 a month. It basically just showcases, in a sense, what I've been up to. I talk about like what videos I've uploaded in case people have missed them. I also usually link in any blog posts that I've written during that month, as well as like any relevant blog posts. So in the newsletter that's just gone out, I've obviously said about doing Vlogmas, and I've said about my gift guide series that I've just completed writing. I've said about my blog post that I've written that went live this morning, which is about tips on how to cope through sort of the festive period when you're grieving, whether that's like a recent loss, or maybe you find Christmas particularly hard, or maybe this year you're finding it difficult like me. I mean, it's been nearly a year since we lost Nan, and I know it's the first Christmas, and I know the first is usually the worst, but I feel like she was such a huge part, I'm trying not to get emotional, but such a huge part of Christmas that, yeah, I think it's a void that's never going to be filled, sadly. But I'm trying my best, because obviously it is Nellie's first Christmas as well. And I want to have those lovely memories of Nellie's first Christmas, and like our first Christmas as a family of like 3 plus Strix equals 4. But yeah, I don't know. It's a difficult one, and I think as I'm like editing the Vlogmas videos, I think I kind of feel that, like, especially in comparison to watching other people's Vlogmases where they're doing like these magical displays and it's all really happy and bubbly, and like, of course I want this to be a happy space, but I think there's only so much you can do when you're grieving, and I think that's kind of the reality of it, unfortunately. So that's kind of like what I've been doing this morning. Off on a tangent then. But yes, my plan is just to do maybe like once a month newsletters. I'm not going to flood your inbox or anything like that. Number one, I just haven't got the time, and number two, I edit on a newsletter app because it's easier than using their website. But trying to do a newsletter and write it and put links in and change bits and all that jazz, it's actually quite difficult on a phone, especially when you've got a baby that's constantly grabbing the screen. So yeah, I don't really have the opportunity to flood your inbox, not that I'd want to anyway. But that link will be down in the description bar if you fancy subscribing. Yeah, so I'm literally just making Nellie's bottle. I'm hoping it'll be ready in literally about a minute. She's like whinging for it because she wants it. I've put her in the bouncer. If you're wondering, I haven't just like shut the door and left her to her own devices. She is in the bouncer. But I just had well, first of all, let me put Nellie's bottle, because it is nearly ready. It will cool down enough by then. Let me just put her milk even, into her bottle. The only downside to the newbie is that you have to wash and sterilise it each time, because obviously it comes into contact with formula, which I get, I completely understand, but especially in those early days you might need to buy 2 because otherwise it is a nightmare. I just wanted to share a little bit of what went on last night, because yesterday's vlog like was pretty short. I mean, my vlogs are getting shorter and shorter, considering like sometimes I'll put out like an hour-long vlog and not much has happened in it, other than me rambling. But I feel like my vlogs are getting shorter and shorter. But I just wanted to share a little thing that happened last night, which, to be honest, like, as I said earlier, Nellie was tired from the carol service, and obviously it was a bit later than her bedtime, and she was cold, and it was like that classic thing of she's tired but you know she's got to eat. She didn't even have her bedtime bottle last night. She was that tired. We gave her some tea, and then she literally just was like, I'm going to sleep, I don't care. So I think that's probably why she woke up so early this morning, because then she was obviously extra hungry because she hadn't had her bottle to fill her up. But she did quite well to get to the time that she did, to be fair, so I can't complain too much. I'm just looking out the window because there was a pigeon, like, oh, there's 2, trying to get into my garage roof as we speak, and I don't want him to get hurt because the garage roof is broken. I know some people don't like pigeons, but I don't want to see him hurt. yeah, so there was another bit of drama. So on the food plan, I had put that we were going to have chicken korma. Last week, I think, or the week before, whenever, I put a food shop haul up, which wasn't, I'm going to say which wasn't my recent one. It was like 2 food shops ago. I mentioned that they didn't have my normal korma sauce in Lidl, and I thought I would pick up this one instead, just to try it and see. It's like a 2-parter, so you had the like seasoning in here, which you mix with all the chicken, and then you add the sauce, simmer it for 10 minutes. So in theory it's not too dissimilar to having the normal curry sauce that I have from there, which I've never had an issue with. But yeah, they didn't have it, so I bought this one as an alternative. Now this is the deluxe one, and its best before date is the 5th of the 5th 2026, so a nice long date. So I was like, even if I don't use it straight away, because sometimes I buy things, I don't know if anyone else is the same, but sometimes I buy things and then they just sit in the cupboard because I don't really know why. I suppose maybe in a sense I'm nervous to try something new, or I'm stuck in my ways, I don't know, but they'll just sit in the back of the cupboard. I won't use them, and yeah, it's just a bit of a nightmare. They end up getting thrown out a lot of the time. So this one had a nice long date on it. So set the scene. Last night we get back, we're all really hungry because by this point it's 8 o'clock. Nobody's eaten anything. Like, chicken korma is a really nice simple meal to make. It literally takes like 10-15 minutes. It's so quick, so that's absolutely fine. So I start the chicken, I cook up 2 chicken breasts, add the seasoning, the rice is on the go, the oven's ready for the naan breads. Like, we're doing well. This is like 8:10 by this point. I open the jar of sauce, which was fully sealed, absolutely fully sealed, and I don't want it to tip everywhere. That is what I'm confronted with. A load of mould, which is grim. So needless to say, the chicken went straight in the bin, because obviously I didn't know if the seasoning had been compromised in any way either. So that went straight in the bin, and we ended up ordering an actual proper Indian takeaway, which cost me £24. Well, cost Ash £24. Yeah, because I had my heart set on having korma. I didn't even have korma, I had a curry from the curry house, but like, my heart was set on that, and the thought of having to cook anything that took longer, nothing was defrosted. I didn't want to use the chicken because obviously I don't know if the seasoning had been compromised. So Nellie ended up having to have a pouch instead, which obviously I've mentioned on here in the last few days. She's not most aligned with pouches at the minute. They mostly end up on the floor. So she wasn't happy, which was not helping the situation. We were starving. So yeah, hence why, to be honest, the vlog kind of cut off when I was in town, just because this drama was unfolding. Anyway, I have complained to Lidl, and they have apologised, and they have given me a voucher for £6. So yeah, that's something. But yeah, so that was my little fun evening, I guess you could say. Nellie's not very happy, she's waiting for a bottle. But yeah, so that was that. Bottle all drunk, new Christmas video put on. She's watching Super Simple Toys, not Super Simple Toys, Super Simple Songs at the minute. I've got a Christmas playlist on, so that will probably last all of about 2 minutes. But yeah, the thing I also wanted to touch on, in one of the mum groups this morning, because they normally, like, in one of the chat groups, every like few days they post a question in there to get like people talking and various things like that. Obviously you can talk amongst yourselves anyways, you know, it's a group chat, but they posted a question in there this morning, which I thought I might actually touch on in this video, and that is, would you do things differently if you had the chance to do them again, in terms of like from when you give birth or when you find out you're pregnant or whatnot, obviously up until now? And I was thinking about this for ages, and to be honest, like, I don't know how you know, you feel about it if you're a mum watching this. But you know what? I don't think I would change anything in terms of like how we've got Nellie this far. I remember her being like 6 weeks old and even like a week old, and me and Ash just looking at each other being like, we've kept her alive. Like for this period of time, it was just like such a shock that we'd been able to do it, because obviously there is no manual. And I think sometimes films portray it that you go to like classes and you learn things, and yes, there may be classes like that in your area. There certainly wasn't where I was to at the time, and I don't even think there are any here that I've really heard of. I think maybe it's more of a city thing, I don't know. But yeah, you don't get a manual or nothing. It's just kind of like, here's a baby, off you go kind of thing. And then a health visitor pops up and either says you're doing a good job or you need to do this differently kind of thing. Yeah, that's about as good as it gets. You just kind of have to learn from other people and your own instincts and stuff. So in terms of would I do anything differently, the answer is no, not in terms of Nellie, because me and Ash have done the best that we can do to our knowledge, to our ability, with various things going on in the background, sort of a house move, obviously losing Nan, Trix getting attacked. Like, they're all super stressful things. So yes, there may have been times where, you know, like now, for example, Nellie is just sat in her bouncer with a bit of screen time. And people may come at me for that, saying like, oh no, you shouldn't, and this, that and the other, like she's more important and things like that. But Nellie has always been in her bouncer with a bit of screen time, and it, you know, it hasn't done her any harm. I did the same. The only difference is these days there's like YouTube and kids stuff that they can watch. I remember, like, if it wasn't kids TV, like well, it's not even that I remember, but if it wasn't kids TV, then you could guarantee, like on all the home footage videos that I've got over the years, if someone's filming me, you can hear Formula One going in the background because I'm sat in my bouncer and Formula One is on the TV, especially if we're at my nan's. So yeah, like, it's not done me any harm. And I get like too much of the wrong stuff and things like that. I'm very cautious about what I put on the TV. For example, when Nellie was in hospital the other month, the person there put Coco Melon on, and it was the first time she'd seen it, and within 2 minutes I was just like, that's not going on again, that's for sure. And like things like that. So I am still very cautious. The only like non-education-y type thing that Nellie watches is Paw Patrol. Other than that, I try and keep it more learning based or more like songs, that kind of thing. So yeah, that is kind of that. But where was I going with this? But yeah, I don't think I do anything differently. Obviously I've been grieving, there's been stressful situations, and we've come out of it the best we can. And you know, if I'm having like a down day and been really missing Nan, or when we were packing up to move and things like that, sometimes unfortunately Nellie just has to be sat in front of either a TV, or she used to have toys on her bouncer thing, but she doesn't like them anymore. She just rips them off, which is fair enough. And like right now, yes, maybe she doesn't need to be in a bouncer in some people's eyes, but if I let her out straight after having a bottle, my carpet will be covered in the remains of that bottle because she'll just puke it up where she's always on her tummy. So I always give her 10 minutes anyway, and the only way you can get her to stop whinging in a bouncer, because she wants to be out and about and exploring, is to put the TV on. So yeah, that is kind of that. Whilst I wouldn't change anything in the way that I've brought Nellie up so far, if I was to get pregnant again, there are definitely things that I would do differently, and I think that comes with having that knowledge there. You know, like if one of my friends was to get pregnant now, they would kind of be on their own journey. But if they were to then get pregnant again later down the line, they'd still have that knowledge as well. So I think that's probably more what I would change, is the second time around, yes, I would do things differently. And I think I'd like to say I'd have more confidence in myself and my abilities. And I was talking to Ash about this the other day, because I said, if we have another one, like, I'd quite like to have a go at baby-led weaning from the off and not do the purees. I only really did the purees because I was so worried about being on my own in the flat with Nellie and her choking, and either me not knowing what to do or me not feeling confident and capable enough, or not being able to get the help that we needed. I mean, since I've had Nellie, we've called for an ambulance twice, once for me, once for Nellie, and both times we were then offered a taxi, and then we were told there weren't any taxis, we've just got to work out how the hell we're going to get to the hospital ourselves. So I think that's always in the back of my mind, and that's not me dissing the NHS, the ambulance service, nothing like that. Like, we all know it's stretched, but I think that's in the back of my mind, that both of those occasions, one was through extreme blood loss and the other was breathing difficulties, and if they're not able to get an ambulance for those things, then they're not going to get an ambulance any quicker for a baby choking. So yeah, I just didn't have confidence in myself to be able to do it this time around. But next time, maybe, if there is a next time, then it's definitely something that I would consider. But yeah, so that is my thoughts on it. I'd love to know your thoughts as well, in the comments, whether you would change things, or whether you kind of feel a bit like me, you're set on that path, you've done the best you can. Yeah. Nellie's probably got about 45 minutes to an hour, and I need to give her some food in that time, but I thought I might just do like a ham sandwich or something. But what I thought I might do is whip out the camera and see if I can just take some Christmassy photos, because she's got the cutest outfit on right now, and I want to try over these next couple of putting her in her festive outfits and taking some photos, because I can't afford to do a festive photo shoot. So an at-home one is the best next solution. And to be fair, I did it for Easter, I did it for Halloween, so I might as well do it for Christmas, and then I've got the whole bunch of them. Yeah, I did actually look back on the Easter ones the other day. I might, like, when I do my reactions video over like certain clips and stuff, I might just include some of the photos as well, because there's a lot of photos that I did not publish, which now looking back, they make me laugh, but I just feel a bit like, oh, poor Nellie. But yeah, you only saw, if you saw the photos on Instagram and Facebook, you only saw the best ones, let me say. The outtakes weren't the same. Who's ringing my doorbell? I've got a parcel. I don't know what it is. I don't know what I've ordered. I couldn't find my keys. I had to apologise to the man who was just putting it on the floor. I thought, please don't put it like in the bin, because they've got a habit of putting it in my bin, and where my bin's empty at the minute, I won't be able to get it back out. Oh, I know what it is. It's not for me. I was getting all excited though, because it's like, it looks like clothing, you know. Might as well show you the cuteness. A little impromptu haul. It's a vintage purchase. Oh, that's cute. She's going to look adorable in that. Prepare for cuteness. Especially Ellie, if you're watching, you'll love it, and I know you will. How cute is that? Oh, I love that. This is originally by Fred and Flo, and I got it in the 18 to 24 months, which, to be fair, actually doesn't look too bad. I've noticed that the pinafore dresses tend to come up quite small, and Nellie is quite long. They even said that on the 9 to 12 month review that she recently had, that she's actually quite long, and she's deemed like above average in length, which obviously isn't going to last, because I was deemed above average in length, and I'm 5'1" now, so I know it's not going to last, because neither is Ash, isn't tall either. So but yeah, how cute is that? And then the other thing, because I bought it as a bundle, that's my downside. I usually search for something and then have a look at the other items. It feels a bit damp. I reckon they've washed it. although it doesn't smell like it's been washed. It smells a bit musty. But yeah, and then I looked through the bundles on Vinted, and then I ended up spending an absolute fortune on stuff I probably didn't need in the first place, but that is really cute. And the fact that I've got it sized, well, 2 sizes up for her, although she'll probably wear it from like January, February, hopefully. Yeah, I don't think that's too bad. But the actual item I bought, which I think will be alright for her, is another sleep bag. This one says Princess Sleeping, but how cute. I fell in love with it because obviously it's got roses, and Nellie is my Nellie Rose. But this is the 12 to 18 months. Does it say a tog? 2.5 tog. Because she's got, I don't know if I've shown it. I definitely showed it on my, I think I got it in a car boot sale haul or a baby haul when I was pregnant, or when Nellie was very, very newborn, one or the other. And it was looking very similar to this, but it had thumper across the top. Well, she's still using that one. Yeah, and it's from, I want to say it's George. Yeah, George. So I'm presuming this is just the same but a different style. That's kind of what I searched for, and it definitely feels the same. It just needs a bit of a wash. So yeah, I'm going to wash that in a minute because I think that needs a nice boiled wash. But yeah, how cute. Oh, I love it. I love getting her clothes and bits and bobs. But yeah, so I'm now going to try and set up this photo shoot, see if she'll play ball with me, and then feed her afterwards, because I don't want to feed her before because she'll make an absolute mess. All I can hear is snowflake, snowflake, snowflake. Oh, I've turned into that mum that's got all these Christmas songs that are like kiddie Christmas songs stuck in her head. I was singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer to her earlier, and I knew it word for word. Which, you know, is the highlight of my day, clearly. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling.
Hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. And I can promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sun said it is just getting better on a blanket with the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do. We'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows in
Did you see Santa?
Did you see Santa?
Did you wave at Santa? You didn't quite know what to make of Santa, did you? What did you think to Santa? Oh!
Oh.
Did you wave at Santa? Show me your wave.
Wave at mummy.
Nellie?
Wave at mummy.
Is that what you did to Santa? Santa gonna come and bring you presents? Oh yeah. Oh yeah.